Welcome back to the channel. This is Rabbit Hole Reviews. So it's been a little bit since I've done an update video on the channel. So what I thought I'd take a look at today is something that I picked up a few weeks back. As you can see on the box, this is a Beretta Model 92 22LR conversion kit. So the box says Beretta, but it's actually not made by Beretta. It's made by a German company called Umarex. And if you go online, you can look at Umarex's website. They make all kinds of different stuff. Some things I didn't even know about. So they make blowguns, paintball guns, BB guns, flashlights. They're into a whole bunch of different things, like at least over 20 different products. They do make a 22LR converted or dedicated HK 416 that is made for HK. And now they also make this conversion kit for Beretta. And so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and unbox this, take a look and see what you're going to get. Just disclosure, I have of course opened this box prior to this video, so I've removed a couple of things, mainly just the plastic wrap, and just to get it out of the way. So without further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. So these retail for anywhere between $200 and I think as low as $265 up to like $335 on Beretta's website. So depending on what time of year or what vendor, if you can pick up one on sale. I got this one slightly cheaper. I got it for under $300. And I think for the money, I'm pretty pleased with the quality so far. I haven't shot it, so that'll be the true test. But so when you open up the box, you're going to get your instructor's manual, instruction manual, and pretty basic, straightforward stuff. Nothing really to see here. It talks about the maintenance and the assembly, disassembly. Those are probably the two big ones. I have looked online a little bit in the forums, and some people talk about how because the Umarex aluminum slide for this 22 conversion kit mates to an aluminum frame on the Beretta, that there's some issues where it kind of binds, or because they're like materials sliding up against each other, apparently aluminum doesn't like to bind with other aluminums or have be a good bearing surface. So I'm no expert on all that. They said to use like some sort of lithium grease or just some little bit heavier grease to get those bearing surfaces to mate better. I'll find that out when I take this out and really run a couple boxes through it and get back to you if there's any reliability issues. Of course, on the traditional Beretta that you see here, of course, the slide is going to be steel and the frame is aluminum. So you have different types of materials bearing against each other. So as we open up the box, your typical warning label, which we're going to get that out of here, not needed. You've got your warranty card. And so what it comes in, and normally when you get the box, this is going to be wrapped in a plastic bag for weatherproofing. I've taken that out just to expedite the video. So what you have here is your replacement slide, replacement 15 round magazine. They come in either 10 or 15. I was lucky enough to get a 15 round magazine, and the replacement barrel and the replacement reduced weight recoil spring. So we'll go ahead and take each part out. So you see the manual of arms is identical in every way to a standard Beretta. You've got your typical safety. This is much lighter weight, as it needs to be, than a typical steel slide. We'll put this on the scale assembled. If you look closely, you've got some DE markings. You got the different proofs. DE is for Deutschland, so you know it's made in Germany. That's the DE is also repeated on the barrel here. You can see DE. So this barrel is very heavy duty, very heavy, and just really well made, at least in appearance. And of course it's straight blowback, so there's no locking block or any assembly on there. And we'll go ahead and drop this in. Assembles just like a Beretta, a standard Beretta slide, which makes sense, right? It would have to. And we'll put this lighter weight recoil spring in here. Polymer guide rod, nothing fancy. Just like on this one, a lot of the new Berettas have polymer guide rods. They're starting to cheapen out a little bit. I'm not sure why they did that. I mean, it's for cost, but anyway, I digress. So what we're going to do, we'll put this on the scale real quick, and then we'll get an idea of the weight. And for once, my scale is cooperating on the first try. So fully assembled Umarex slide. Let's take a look. coming in at 11.72 ounces. And just out of curiosity, a 92 slide, in this case a 92A1, is 17.74 versus the Umarex at 11.6. So definitely a different, totally different ball game in terms of weight. We'll go ahead and assemble it on the pistol. Assembles just like a regular Beretta. I did a review on this handgun earlier in the channel. If you look back in the archives, I'm not sure what episode that is. And there we go, fully assembled. So all the controls work identically. So what you're going to get is the benefit of the same factory trigger. So you can practice your trigger presses and your sight alignment just like you would on the centerfire version of this pistol. Now the magazine has this little lever down here, like a lot of 22 pistols, to help you in loading the rounds that are rimmed. The magazine is of course empty. Holds open on the last shot. However, it does not drop free. So that's something to be aware of. It's not going to drop free like your regular Berettas. Go ahead and insert. But if you want to remove the magazine, you're going to have to depress the magazine release and pull the floor plate out. Just overall a really nice addition. So why would you want something like this? And why would you want to pay anywhere from $265 to $335 for basically what is half of a Beretta pistol, but in 22 LR? Well, I think in my case, it's a novelty item for me. But what you really get out of something like this is if you want to, well, of course, low-cost train. So you can train with 22 LR versus 9mm. So there's definitely a cost savings there. I think you would get your money back over time on the cost savings of ammo. But more importantly, I think what you get is if you want to train somebody on a full-size duty handgun, like a Beretta, which is definitely on the high end, the large size of duty size. Beretta is probably the one complaint people have for Beretta is the fact that it's so large. So to train somebody on that with smaller hands or just not that experienced, you can start them out on 22 LR so they get used to the reach of the controls, how far away the safety is, how far away the trigger is, just the overall size of the pistol, and of course it has an identical sight picture. So starting out, you could run them on a 22 LR and then gradually shift them over to the 9mm. You could save money that way, and you could have a little bit less of a learning curve. It wouldn't be quite so steep because they start out, they get the fundamentals down on a full-size handgun, trigger squeeze, sight alignment, and breathing. You get all that done, and your positioning and all that. You get everything down, and then you transition them over to 9mm. So there's a couple things. You can get this in a threaded barrel, but as far as I know, they don't sell threaded barrel kits. These kits with the threaded barrel already installed. What you're going to get is you're going to have to pay another $140 if you want this barrel already threaded. I wish they had just included that, and even if they bumped up the price just slightly, I think most people would appreciate a threaded barrel at this point. But that's what you get. You don't get a threaded barrel at this price range. And magazines are not particularly inexpensive. They're about the same cost as a regular Beretta magazine, honestly. Hell, I bought surplus U.S. military magazines for as low as $8 a piece, brand new. So 15 rounders. Now, you're not going to get the floor plates. You're not going to get the sand-resistant finish. You're not going to get the higher capacity, but it's your basic military mag for $8. That's what you're looking at. So I think the magazines on the 22LR version are roughly $20 to $40 in that range, 25 to 40, something around there. So probably not a high demand item. Again, I wish this had come with 2 magazines just so you can just load 2 of them up and not have to reload every single time. Again, I think they should at least have the option where you can buy a kit with a spare magazine and have a threaded barrel versus a non-threaded. Even if that's more money, I think I would have paid that to give the consumer that option. But all those accessories are readily available, and so you can opt out if you don't want it. So there's an option there. Overall, I would give this 2 thumbs up. You're going to see a product review on it itself, like actually shooting it and testing the accuracy. From videos I've seen online, everyone seems to be fairly positive about it, and hopefully my luck will run along the same line as theirs. So this has just been a quick video on the Beretta 92 LR conversion kit made by the German company Umarex. And let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll get back to you on whether this thing is reliable and actually accurate.